Okay, so this is an attempt to change out the fuel pump and possibly some of the evaporative canister devices on a 2000 GMC Savana 2500. I started out by taking out the three little bolts that hold the filler neck in. I had to take the cap off before I did that. Underneath I also loosened up the rubber hose between the filler neck and the actual tank itself. Next thing I did was I actually set like cribbing up just in case, and then I took out, well, I took off, not out, but took off the two long bolts, 5/8 inch end bolts that hold in the tank straps. So I got my jack pretty much centered on the tank. This tank has got this really nice plastic protective covering on it. I think that's because this used to be this is a school bus actually. And to be honest with you, it's like nice and beefy and was well kept. You know, it looks great until I got my hands on it. And what I'm gonna do next is see what I need to do to kind of juggle this out and down. I might have to disconnect the fuel lines up top, which are going to be impossible to show you on video with the tank up and in place. I will show you after it's all done, when the tank is out, what it looks like, what the new fuel pump looks like going in. So yeah, let's commence the cursing and the screaming. By the way, if you're gonna do this, I would really recommend wearing goggles because yeah, there's a lot of little pieces of rust that fall into your eyes. It's not fun. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff up here that needs to be disconnected, I think. Caution fuel line. Is that like real or is it just recommended? I don't know. Okay, I could take the filter out. That'll be the next step, I think, to kind of getting this all loose. Fuck. Actually, enough room there and there. Yep, those hoses have enough room now, so I will take the filter out. That's going to lose a lot of gas when I do that. So maybe I should get a bucket or something. I think once I do that, it should be Okay to come out this way. Yeah, because this is the only one that's being pulled on right now. Of course, the pressure line. That's from the engine side, and it's all the stuff that's been sitting in the filter. This is from the actual fuel pump side. Smoke them if you got them, right? Let's see here. I shouldn't joke about that. Okay, don't smoke when you're doing stuff like this. That'd be bad. You'll become very unhappy very quickly. Alright, there's a vent tube in here that goes to the canister ventilation charcoal thingy, and it's got a big old, I don't know what type of clamps you call them, but the ones that are like, you have two fingers on one side, one on the other, and they like are compressed already like that. That looks dirty. You have to basically get a pair of pliers in between those and just kind of squeeze them. And you have to do this all while not being able to see it. And yeah, needle nose pliers, maybe. Might be time to lose some weight. Oh, God. That came up pretty easily. I want to check something because a lot of people talk about these vent tubes getting stuffed with charcoal. Nope, don't see it. Alright, that should be just another. That should almost be it. We've got some leeway from the two. So I got a return line here. Just disconnect. Just that simply just. Oh, good God. Oh. That should be lower pressure because it's a return line. Well, I guess it's still would be high pressure. And I got. Important thing here is to remember you're going to stink like gasoline. But Alright, so there's two wire harnesses that are connected to this. One of them's just tapped in as a place to hold it, and it's a tie over here. I don't know if that's coming up on camera. That one I can, I think. Oh yeah. There we go. That's one. I'm trying to do this without having to put a whole bunch of zip ties in when I'm done. I know there's a trick to this, but I don't know what it is. Ah. The gas is fresh, so that's a plus. Okay. All right. All right. Well, that came out. Ooh, this tank is full. Oh. Oh, here's the charcoal canister. Cool. Here's the wiring harness. There's gas going everywhere. That charcoal canister is huge. That's kind of a different one. Squeeze it like that. It's really hard to get it to come out. Alright, so fuel lines are good. Fuel lines from there, fuel lines from there. And I'm gonna have to drop this down even lower to get it out. I don't know if it'll come out. Oh, good God. Ah. That's done. There. We'll stop that issue. There's the electrical connection I got to take out. Now the fuel lines that are going to that I think should be okay. What's good is that actually the kit came with a new connector. In fact, every single kit I've seen comes with the connector. So let's see how this lets go. Okay, so that white clip pulls out this way, and then you probably run a screwdriver in there. Get that out. Okay, so it was a lift, not a push. Okay, sorry about the background noise. Taking off these two lines, return fuel. And they're actually two different sizes, which should make it easier for later. Okay. I think I'm gonna need these. You know what, I'll take those later. Whew. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna need a new retainer ring. This one is really bad. That should have knocked out, not peeled out like that. Compressed air before I even touch any of this stuff. This is all the stuff that was getting in my eyes. This looks like it's all original. There's something I'm very curious about. You know what? Ooh, there's gas everywhere. I wanted to see if there's like a sludge buildup at the bottom of the tank. Doesn't look that bad, but there is a lot of stuff in this filter. Woo! I forgot how cold gas feels when you get it deep. This new one comes with a new float. So I'm just going to set it up the same way as the old one. Ooh, tons of gas pouring out of this one. Means I'll be leaning in gas for the next God knows how long. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Huh. It's a little bit of like sediment at the bottom. It's not really that bad. So, chip right here. Oh, you know what would be helpful? Put the gas on. Actually, checking to make sure the gas gets the right size. The big rubber seal. Looks good. There's a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of sediment in there, but fuel pump doesn't look to be clogged up or anything. So I don't know if this is part of my problem. If not, this is something that needs to be a, you know. Oh, here's something else that's important. I forgot to check. Oof. Oh yeah, just give it a guess. Let's see what our height is. Oh, this squishes down. Ah. There's absolutely no directions with it. So I'm assuming that means I put this in, squish it down. Well, straighten it out, squish it down, and then I'm supposed to get the ring over top of that. Oh man, whew. It's pretty terrible. All right, There's a little indexing ring there. That goes there. That looks, that's right up there. I just got to get the right retaining ring. So, wait, I'm going to have to go order one of those. I have to very carefully, get gas all over my leg. I have to very carefully take these off. I've spliced in the new connector, and there was a previous new connector put in, which means that this is not a brand new fuel. This is not the first new fuel pump. It's not that much in that filter, to be honest with you, but vehicle is 24 years old, lower mileage, but still, it won't hurt to change this pump out. Hoping that this fixes an issue that I'm having. We shall see. Or I'm getting low power and surging, which could be part of the evaporative canister, could be a couple other things. So, you probably noticed that these are all offset. That's so that they don't make a big old wad and just push against each other. The connectors that came with the kit were the heat shrink type. However, they really weren't getting good. They really weren't getting a good grip on both wires. You see the wires, two different sizes. So lots of electrical tape next, and then I'll put it back in the wire loom. And pretty much the next step is I have to get the new ring for this. Let me double check. There's none that came with the kit, so I guess it's something you have to buy separately. I'll see if there's any locally, and while I'm at it, I don't know, I might change out the evaporative can. Well, I don't know, it's not leaking anything. It looks like it's okay. So maybe I won't change the evaporative canister. We'll see. Oof. Hope I'm not crimping that little edge there. But this little ring, see how thin it is. That's all that was, well, I shouldn't say that's all. There was pressure over time, you know, holding the pump in place. So it's not like the pump was really going to go anywhere when I came off. You saw I still had to pry it off. So electrical tape, clean that all up, get everything ready, and go online and try to find a ring, and see if I have to wrap this up for the day until I get a ring in. Okay, I was able to talk someone into getting a retainer ring for me while I was stuck at home. This goes on only one way, so that little plastic locator goes back here, and you kind of have to finagle this to go, you know, flat enough that you can get everything in place, because this just kind of holds everything in. Just with a little bit of tension. Push. There we go. Let's see here. wrong tool for the job, but let's see if I can get it to work. There we go. That's nice. Nice and tight. They're good. Huh. Doesn't feel like it's as tight as it should be, but it's got the rubber gasket underneath it, so it should be all good. Now with these, only one will go on one, and only one will go on the other. So, up goes in there. Got my cable connector, which I have to pull this out for. Now I've got to kind of reposition everything back into place and get this up on the cribbing a little bit so I can get the jack underneath it. That's going to be the fun part. This is unfortunately going to make for a terrible video, but you can see the fun though. Okay, that was a lot of choking, spitting, coughing, some farting too, to try to get that tank up in place. I did finally, smarten up a little bit. I put a board underneath it so I wasn't pushing on one little spot underneath. Hopefully I didn't bend the bottom of the tank too much. I did get the filler neck tube in. I'm going to lock the upper portion of this in place. There is a there's also a ground strap there that I have to replace. I'll get that on after I'm done with this video. Alright, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to film this and put this together at the same time, so I'm just get these all in. Okay, that's all tightened up, ready to go. So I can go back to underneath here. Oh, goodness. So I'm going to reconnect the tube here for the filler neck, and then let's start situating things on the front here. One thing I neglected to do is to actually take the straps off prior to the actual metal straps here, prior to dropping the tank down, which is something that you really should do. So I am very impatient, and that always seems to bite me in the rear. So because of that, I've been having to rebend and fight those straps. It's really not the right way to do it. If you learn anything from this video is, follow the proper procedure. Don't try to take shortcuts. Oh, God. And don't do this sort of work when there's rain coming up in the future. Because if you're short one part and it's going to rain, make it all screwed over like that anyway. Oh, and don't do this on a full tank. I don't think on a full stomach either, because these fumes are pretty wretched. I mean, I like the smell of gasoline. This is a bit too much. Whew. My throat's starting to burn. You know what? I'm going to leave one of these loose. I was just thinking, I'm going to have to finagle stuff up the front end still, I'm sure. So I'll leave one of these loose. Tighten up the other one. Tighten up the one that's actually against the tank. Oh, good God. It's all the way there. I didn't show this on camera, but I did take a wire brush to the areas under here. I'm still getting little chunks coming off. Probably would have been a good time to spray a little bit of some sort of rust inhibitor or something under there. Opportunity list, but oh well. Taking this a little bit more all the way. There we go. Alright, now this strap right here is going to have to go all the way around and over there Got to sneak it behind the drive shaft. Before oh Jesus, there's so much stuff in my eyes. This can't be good for you. Oof. Make sure the lights are clear. Come on. This got a little bit more. Okay, it does go up a little bit more. Okay. Luckily this bolt is really long. I'm sure that was intentional. Oh, but I still have like 3 miles left to go with this. There's no way. There is no way I'm getting there with this. Okay. Okay, let me try to not kill myself. Uh-huh. Okay. What I'm doing right now is I'm starting the screw. Well, trying to start the screw. So I could see if I'm in the right spot first of all. Should be. I don't see anything else that could be this. Other than for this threaded hole. Alright, that's starting to thread. Let's see how close am I? Almost there. Oof. Okay, it was like on one thread. Let me do this. Get all my stuff together first. There's that. There's that. Put all these together. Some abstract art style cribbing here. Actually, you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. It's only going to be temporary. Where a few fastened zip ties would be good. Actually, a ratchet strap is what I need. That means I gotta go and find one. Yeah, let's see this one. Oof, this is looking really janky. What was the pressure on this? It should be, oh wait, I need room to get the jack in over here. Huh. Let's see. Okay. Just give this a little shake. All right, good. Another little shake. I really don't feel like, yeah, going to the hospital for anything not entertaining, at least. I mean, every once in a while you gotta do something stupid, stitches or something, but this looks like it might be more painful than that. If I drop this on my chest, full tank hit me. Okay. Well, the straps are in and they're holding. So we got the fuel filter back in line, and then the connections between the fuel filter and the, let's see, the fuel line has to come in, and then the return line here has to come in, which is, is the return line? Oh. Pretty sure this fuel filter goes this way. Yeah, that's got to go that way. And so these fuel lines come down that this way. That's the main fuel line going into, or coming out of the pump. Alright, so that one goes there. And the rest of these all hook up in different ways. Let's see. Oh, I got all sorts of stuff over here that they connect to. Let's see here. Well, I get the fuel line going at least, so let's fix that. The main fuel line, I should say. Wow, that's easy. Surprisingly easy. Let's see here. Oh. These are the electrical lines that I showed you before. Boy, it's getting a little dark out. It's getting terribly difficult to show any of these. These are just little zip tie thingies that hold the electrical lines in place. Fuel room. I had the fuel filter and little that goes around the fuel filter. Let's see here. Pardon me. There it goes. I knew where that one went because I changed the fuel filter in the past. Let's see here. Let's see, caution fuel, caution fuel. They don't tell me what they go to though. That's no fun. Get fresh fuel coming out of them, I know that for sure. You know what? I'm going to take this one off the end of the fuel filter then. I gotta look at this from another angle. Okay, let's see here. These two go together. Oh, they're just tripping gas all over the place. That's fantastic. They are entangled with this fuel line or no? Let's see. They, I believe, come this way. Yes, they come up and go to vent lines. So what happened was, when I put the fuel tank on, these were set underneath the tank instead of on top of it. That's tough. These got kind of scrambled up a little bit. They ended up on top of the fuel tank instead of underneath it. Okay, it's the next day and it's raining out. So that makes things much more fun. Basically, I just have a few things to reconnect here. Try not to blind myself in the meantime. I've got the main fuel line looks good. The pressure line looks good. The head's probably soaked now. Vent line going to the canister. Feels like it's, yeah, two little lines that go to the canister, and I'll find another little one. Let's see, that's one. That looks like it goes to the canister or something. What's kind of nice is that these only kind of really go one way. There we go, that goes there. This one goes, I have no idea where. On that one. There's the weird circle one that goes on the side of the little vent canister thingy, I think. Yeah, that's where it goes. What I really like is that they use different size connectors for everything, so I wouldn't have to worry about the wrong thing in the wrong place. Well, that's on there. I guess the last thing to do here, I mean really the last thing to do is to test it to see if everything's running right. And then I can pop in my fuel lines and all that fun stuff. Or, sorry, I could pop in my little connector hoses and hose keepers and such. Alright, so everything technically is connected now. Well, one of them's in. I'm going to start it up. Let's see what it does. Pumps on. I don't see gas pouring out. That's a plus. All that's left is tightening up that one last bolt, but I would call that a total success.